Good morning. Happy Monday. Man, weather's good. Easter was good. I feel a lot better today. That funk was definitely tough, but 1% better each day. No matter what I'm going through, no matter what we are going through in life, if you're like me and you stay clean and you pray and you do the things and you stick to the routines, it gets 1% better. Even if you choose it not to be, it still does. That season of my life, which I'm still currently in, so this season of my life was one of the toughest, but also one of the most necessary. One of the most necessary. So I picked up another sponsee, and I was not in the headspace to do that. For sure. I mean, even my manager was like, "Are you sure you can handle that?" But it's just being of service, and the dude really needs my help. And just the conversation I had with him yesterday, as he's going through his stuff, and I'm going through my stuff. It was just good, one addict helping another without parallel. But the sun seems a little brighter today, and sticking to the routines. It was really cool to drop the kids off this morning. She could use the help. It's her livelihood, and so just knowing that, that's also helping her, it helps me. It's pretty cool. And there's always a brighter day, even if it's just a little tiny bit. Learning how to reflect positively, watching positive things, listening to positive music, all that stuff adds up. Because man, for a minute there, and I still got some linger in me. It still lingers a little bit in me, but I asked myself some questions last night about just what am I learning? What am I gaining? What can I do? And I keep asking myself that. I went from that why to what. And I think that video really helped too. That was the time where when I watched that video by Napoleon Hill about process and crushing and feeling broken and feeling confused and all of that stuff, feeling like shit, man, what did I do wrong? All of that, it's not important. It's important. It's important, but it's not. It's this level of shame that kicks over. It's not important. What did I do right? Those are better questions. What areas of my life need work? I was given an opportunity to sit in an area of my life that I wasn't prepared for. I wasn't prepared for that, which is perfect, because they needed to be addressed. That part of of me that I don't necessarily like needed to be addressed, exactly the way it went down. And I am starting to be grateful for it. I can say, oh yeah, I'm grateful. There's a lot of things I'm grateful for, but I am really grateful that I'm able to, that I didn't get loaded over anything, that I didn't, that I sat, I sat with process, and Easter and thinking the alternative. I played the tape. They say this thing, play the tape of like alternatives. You know, getting loaded because I don't want to feel a certain way, losing my job, you know, ending up in the hospital, losing my car, losing my place, losing my kids, losing my self-respect, losing my, you know, just all this shit means nothing then. And it doesn't have to be that's the only alternative. That's the alternative if I get loaded. And I'm truly grateful that like I wasn't in a position where I felt like getting loaded. I was in a position where I felt like, okay, we're gonna sit with this for a minute. I'm not gonna avoid it. I'm not gonna go to sleep for it. I'm not gonna eat myself to feel better. I'm gonna try not to get mad when somebody doesn't know how to merge on the freeway. Maybe they got something going on. But you know, like, just be kind to myself, self-compassion. I mean, like, there's all these things that I've been over the last couple of weeks doing that have been really, really helping. And they weren't helping at the time, I didn't think. I mean, they, you know, they were process. I hate fucking process, man. A life without process, how boring would that be, right? And then I just sat and thought of other people, you know, and what they're going through, and if they're going through it, and like what I could have caused or did or any of that, you know, like, or you know, I can get caught up in my own world and not think about what another person could be going through. Like, what kind of process they're having to go through. Fucking, I went through that yesterday too. And it just like broke my heart if, you know, I caused any pain to anybody, where they got to sit with it, or any of that process. I thought about somebody like thinking they could have hurt me, and that like I'm not a person they wanted to, and what that could have caused them. Like, I don't want to hurt anybody, especially certain people. Like, fuck no. Like, I prayed that certain people are like let me have the pain. Let certain people smile, be good, and let me just endure. The last thing I want to do is cause pain on people that I care about the most. So, before I go to that dark fucking place, like, everything happens exactly the way my higher power intended it. And a lot of my will, my higher power is letting it happen. So, in a fucked up way, my higher power intended that to happen. That word intended, the more I think about it, it's not that my higher power made it. Like, there, a lot of this shit is my own will. It's fucked up too. It's my own will. Even if it's in good intention, good nature, it's my own will. All my character defects and, you know, it's my own will. It's not like my higher power made that happen. But my higher power let it. because there's been times in my life where, like last night, I was trying to record a video and it was not a good video, and then like my memory was full, so I had to delete it and then go through all of my shit and delete all that. And like that, going through like a lot of the videos and deleting all that, going through a lot of things in my phone and deleting it, gave me a little bit of perspective over like how much work I put in, all this shit that I'm doing. It's springtime. I'm really grateful that I've experienced the things that I've experienced over the last year and 7 months and 9 days. I'm really grateful that I have a year, 7 months and 9 days clean. I'm really grateful that when I've been stressed out or like felt a certain way, I haven't gotten loaded over it. I'm really grateful for like the time I have with my kids, driving them to, you know, the daycare lady, laughing, playing songs with their names on it. I'm really grateful that this Easter I didn't fucking feel super shitty and uncomfortable and sweaty and then in public and fucking wanting to avoid people. I'm really grateful that I didn't have to apologize to any of my kids for getting loaded over the weekend. And I'm really grateful that the sun is out, that every day I'm getting 1% better. Every day I'm feeling 1% better. I'm really grateful that no matter what goes on in my life, I still stick to the routines. Even when I don't want to. Even when I'm in bed and I'm like, fuck, I don't want to wake up. Like, I just want to sleep in till 1 o'clock and fucking, you know, stare at the ceiling. Try to figure out something that I'm not going to figure out. And I'm really grateful that I have people in my life that love me. I'm grateful for the friends that I've gained in this journey, and I'm grateful for the experiences that I've had. And I'm grateful that I don't get all the control, because if I got all the control, I don't think things would go exactly the way I thought they would. I'm grateful that I love God, and God loves me enough to let me learn through uncomfortability, let me learn through making mistakes, and let me learn to have a perspective of, okay, I'm in a situation where my self-centeredness came out and I'm in the core of my disease right now, and it's not drugs. And so I'm going to feel one of these three things, because that's who I am. I'm an addict. So I'm either going to feel anger, resentment, or fear. So I'm going to choose not to feel any of those, because I know that anger is a secondary emotion. So I'm going to choose to stay in being sad. And I'll stay in it and I'll stay in it every single day, 1% better every day, until I have a better perspective over a situation. And I'm grateful that I have that way that I think, where my whole life I never thought that way. My whole life I always thought, other ways. And then if it fucking hurt or if it felt shitty enough, then I got loaded over it. And I'm really grateful that I don't know what the fuck. That I don't get to know. That I don't get to see the future. That I don't get to see what happens next. That I just, as long as I stay clean, stay positive, as long as I continue to work my program to the best of my ability, knowing that like it's, that I am still broken. I'm not going to always be broken, but the brokenness stuff that I have, I'm fixing, and I'm doing something about it, instead of just sitting at home like fucking complaining about everything. And I'm really grateful for the time that I got yesterday. I got to be a good dad yesterday, even if I felt a little uncomfortable. Church, Easter egg hunt, get Lainey her stuff for Cispus, sit with Lainey and watch 2 rom-coms that she really likes, and not in the headspace to watch, but you know, she's smiling and I'm smiling and we're having a good time. And instead of saying, no, I don't want to watch that because I feel a certain way. Yeah, baby, let's watch it. You like that? Okay. You know, be that kind of dad. You know, drive the kids to daycare, and instead of just put on my music, Lucy says, hey, put on Lucy on the Sky with Diamonds. And I'm like, okay, baby. You know, and then Grayson picks a song instead of me like, no, this is my time. You know? And then, you know, on the way to the gym, I could easily just go back home, go to sleep, and fucking... That's not a coping mechanism. This is. So, yeah. Today's a good day. And as long as I just, minute by minute, hour by hour, for the 12 hours I have left or whatever, it's going to be a good day. Good doesn't have to be amazingly great, feeling with joy. It can just be good. And I'm good with that. And so, yeah, I hope whoever watches this is having a good day. I hope whoever watches this is doing okay. I'm out.